Men are playing video games and chilling at home. We kind of look at the reality of what's happening around us right now. Men are just frustrated with everything. Soft guy era has really ushered in a lot of thinking where men realize that they are the prize and that they shouldn't be chasing, they should simply be replacing. You look at the way women are in Western society today, and you wake up and realize that, they want everything, but they bring absolutely nothing to the table. And then they say that men who say, hey, what do you bring to the table? These men are not men of value because real men don't expect anything from a woman. A woman brings herself because she is the table, and a real man never asks what does a woman bring. He can figure out that out for himself. Like, it's a very sad thing. It's a very sad reality we live in. And when we talk about the 666 guys, you know, they make above six figures. They have a they're at least 6 feet tall, and they have a six pack. You have to remember that these are the plan B guys. These are not the men that the women love. These are not the men that women actually want to be around and spend the rest of their lives with. They want to spend the rest of their lives with Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Little Poncho, especially Little Poncho. They love Little Poncho. He's always laying up in your bed, farting in your bed. You know, he has your pillow between his legs. Sometimes a little pee pee slips. Right now, he's evidently struggling with diabetes. It progressed from pre-diabetes, now it's diabetes. And he has to take his insulin too, and it's just hard on him. But she doesn't care because she's there, and he's in your bed while you're at work, and she's in he's just having fun kicking up his little feet, and he has his fat little belly, and she's rubbing his fat little belly and kissing his little toes because that's the man that she loves. That's the man that she loves. And then you have a lot of these men, even in the African American community, their kids are born, and these kids come out with, like, the hair texture is kind of interesting. They're like, oh, look at that. He has good hair. He has good hair. That's little Poncho's baby. That's little Poncho's baby. That's little Poncho's baby. All right. And they're trying to act like, she starts making up all kinds of stuff saying that there's India in her family. And there's no damn Indian in her family. All right. That's Poncho's kid. That's Poncho's kid. That's one of many. One of many. And that's the reality that a lot of men live with in society. It's a sad reality. By the way, guys, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And of course, members of the channel do get new videos early. If you'd like to learn more about that, click the join button down below this video. So yeah, I mean, it's a sad reality that we live in, but it's a reality that we have to acknowledge and that we have to understand. Women chose this for themselves. And it's like men have to wake up and realize, hey, it's time to walk away. A lot of guys have walked away. A lot of guys are just chilling at home, playing video games, relaxing, eating, sleeping, and living their best lives. A lot of, 30 million men have dropped out of the workforce. How are they surviving? It's very simple. A lot of men made enough money over the course of their lives where, a guy can have a couple $100,000 in the bank, sometimes even less than that. And depending on where they live and how they've structured their life, they don't have to work because the average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. You don't have to be a millionaire. All right. There's a lot of dudes who they worked hard. Instead of focusing on women and relationships or even getting fancy degrees or any of that nonsense, they went out, got themselves a job, hustled hard for like sometimes a good 10, 15, 20 years. And instead of looking for a woman, they were working on themselves. They saved their money. Some of these dudes have pensions now, all kinds of stuff. They have money tucked away. They bought a mobile home. They paid their house. They bought a house back when it was still affordable. They paid that entire thing off. Back when you could buy a house for $200,000. Or they bought a mobile home for $100,000 or less. And now they're basically living in their mobile home, living in their home that's fully paid off. Sometimes they have multiple properties. They're getting income from that, passive income from that property being rented out. You know, they're doing day trading, and they have investments where they're getting dividends. There's a lot of people who live off dividends. There are people, some guys who actually have well over $1 million in the bank, are spread in investment accounts. They're getting easily 30, 40, $50,000 a year from that investment income, but their homes are paid off. Their homes are paid off. Everything is paid off. They have no expense. They have no debt. So what are their expenses? Their expenses are meager, very, very meager expenses. Most of these guys that spend most of their time at home are just chilling and relaxing. They drive, their cars are paid off. They have they drive old luxury cars. They're not wasting money. They don't have money like the rest of y'all, so they're out here just living their best lives. They make $50,000 in passive income a year from their investments, interest, things like that. And they're not even spending $50,000 a year. A lot of that money is just going right back into the bank. So their money continues growing. And they're sitting around just enjoying their lives, relaxing, playing video games, watching TV, listening to music. These guys have basically retired. They have 100% retired, and this is the reality that we live in. And women are responsible for this reality. They are 100% responsible for this reality because they have pushed men out of society. They have told men, we don't want you. We don't want you here. We don't want to see you. We don't want to speak to you. This is just the reality of it. You need to go. But at the same time, we want what you have. We want your money. We want your resources. So, leave everything you have. It's like, guys are done with this stuff. Men are done. Men are basically like, I'm no one's fool. The world around us is just one big lie. I was watching a video earlier where this man, his father left home. Just check this out. Him and his father, I don't know if they had like an argument or something, but his father, took the dog and went for a walk, and he never came back. So the man called the police and reported that his father never came back. Well, here's what ends up happening. The police come, take him into custody, because they said that they noticed like there was a blood splatter, a blood stain in the house, and they basically created this entire scheme that the son had control alt deleted the father, and they were looking at a situation of control alt deletion. So they took the man into custody, held him for about 17 hours, no sleep deprived, interrogated him for 17 hours. During that time, he told them that he has a mental health condition, he needs a psychiatric medication. They told him, nope, you're not getting it. They drove him around in a squad car, basically telling him that he needs to confess and tell them where he left his father's remains. And it turns out his father was alive the entire time. At some point, his sister even contacted the police station to let them know that the father had gone to a friend's house and had just left his things behind. The cops could care less. They eventually, after getting him to confess to control alt deleting his father, then took him to a psychiatric hospital where they had him kept for 3 days, and then told the hospital not to allow him to have contact with anyone. This is madness. They also took his dog to a pound and left the dog there. Guys, this is insane stuff. All right. Luckily, he was able to trace the dog after he got off the psychiatric hospital. He was able to trace the dog to the pound using a microchip. This is the reality we live in. Women think that they have power. They don't have power. They have special privileges. There's a channel on YouTube that I watch, and it's actually, the channel is run by a former prosecutor, and the guy's not too old, and he basically said now he's a civil rights attorney, I believe, and he says that these people, law enforcement, they do not like you. They absolutely HAT you. All right. These are agents of the state. They will lie to you. They will say anything to you to convict you and to have you thrown in jail. That's the absolute reality of it. The story that I'm telling you about, that actually comes from the Legal Bites channel. So that's just in case you were curious about that. Or the lawyer that I mentioned, his name of his channel is the Civil Rights Lawyer. And it's an unfortunate reality that we live in. I'll link you guys to both of them so you can check both of these things out. But I wanted you guys to understand, women think they have special powers. They don't have power. They have privileges. Those privileges can be taken away at any moment. All right, by agents of the state. Women are also they operate also as agents of the state. Basically, the more wealth and resources they are able to extract from men in Western society, the more they are rewarded by the state. But the less they can extract, the less they are provided, the less they are rewarded. The state doesn't actually care about them. The state is only rewarding them to help control and extract wealth and resources from men. And as you can see, police officers, they operate in a whole other place. Like, these people, they are actually above the law. They are the law, essentially. They don't operate based on the Constitution. They operate based on policies, and whatever they say goes. Because they're the equivalent of enforcers. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content on this channel and you want even more of this, consider checking out the Men Walking Away channel. I have it linked in the description of the video. I release daily videos there, so you can go check the channel out, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the content. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are playing video games and chilling at home. They're done with the nonsense. They're done with the games. They're focusing on themselves and living their best lives. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and